Hi, everyone. Welcome to 7th House Astrology Podcast. I'm Heather, and I'm here to talk about the messy, beautiful, and sometimes exhausting world of relationships. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Wow, is life so changing? There's been so much going on with me and the sky. We have a minor grand trine in the sky right now happening, involving Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, all at 4 degrees. Well, Uranus has moved into 5 degrees, but it's still pretty potent. My natal Pluto is in an exact trine transiting Pluto. And listen, everyone, I've went through 20 years of Pluto transits, so this girl needs a break. With that said, I have Pluto, the planet of transformation, transiting my 5th house of children. And whoa, so much transformation with my kids. It's insane. Okay, so last week, my son prepared and moved to Japan. That's right, Japan. This is so transforming for him. Not only for him, but for the entire family. His sun, which is in Capricorn, lays in the 9th house of foreign cultures and education. I've been saying for years he's going to be a teacher. He will be teaching English to elementary school Japanese children. I mean, come on, Capricorn, he's going to work in the 9th house of foreign cultures and travel and teaching. And what is he doing? It's literal, right? Again, astrology being on point. And this pleases me because he is living and evolving with the energy. My other son is also going through huge transformation with his child. Astrology is so amazing. And when you see it happening in your chart and others, it reminds you that you and others are living the energy of life. And oh, is the timing so perfect? I do not believe there are coincidences. When you follow transits and the energy comes through on time and on point, it's addicting. Ask any astrologer, and I will bet you they are all still tracking their planets in transit. Once you know astrology and you actually have your aha moment, you can never not see astrology in the same way. Once you see astrology in action, you really can't go back. Follow transits in your chart. It will change your life. I promise you. So let me just give you a really quick thing right now. One of the things you could do is just follow the moon. Okay. The moon's in a different sign every 2.5 days. Follow the moon. See how each time the moon is in a different sign, how you feel. You will feel it. I promise you. It's awesome. An example, I would be freaking out about my son moving to another country, but I see it in his chart. And this allows me to relax and know that everything is meant to be and we are in perfect timing. Astrology, I mean, how can we not get hooked once you know? So today we'll be focusing on the first of the earth signs and the first fixed sign, Taurus, the planet, and its planetary ruler, Venus. Before we begin, let's recap Earth, yeah? Earth is grounding, practical, stable, realistic. Earth is reliable, dependable, sensible, and solid. Earth is steadfast, materialistic. It's our possessions. It's tangible. It's our resources. Earth is physical, substance, concrete. Earth is our assets and foundation. Earth is hardworking, diligent, industrious, persistent, methodical, efficient, productive, conscientious. Earthy people have, a good work ethic. They're structured, organized. They do things in orderly, systematic manners, and they are discerning. Earth is methodical, rigorous, detail-oriented. It's our routines. Earth is conservative, pragmatic, realistic, and prudent. They have common sense and are logical and sensible type of people. In the episode of the Earth Elements, I mentioned how there are 3 houses in each quadrant. Beginning is cardinal, followed by fixed, and then mutable. For Taurus is to take what Aries initiated and bring it into reality. When we think of the energy of Aries beginning and initiating the energy, it's Taurus's job now to manifest what Aries started. Where Aries is restless and scattered energy, Taurus is here to ground, become persistent, create stability, and importantly, especially for Taurus, is consistency. Aries is fiery, hot energy, and Taurus is more cooling, soft, grounded energy. Hence why I love them. I have a lot of fire in my chart. Remember I said fiery people attract earthy signs? It's true. So today we'll be focusing on the first of the earth signs and the first fixed sign, Taurus, and the planetary ruler, Venus. Let's talk a bit about Venus first. Venus's dual reign over the signs of Libra and Taurus, where she resides during the day and at night, respectively, has frequently been linked to the dichotomy in the astrological perspective of Venus. While her earthy nocturnal home of Taurus displays her deeper, more fundamentally feminine attributes of creative desire, her Librian aspects emphasizes virginal love, ethereal beauty, diplomacy, harmony, luxury and art, and music, and balance. Venus as an archetype manifests and describes the energy impulses we express through our desire to be loved and to love. The impulses we feel from Venus are towards pleasure, harmony, friendship, beauty, luxury, balance, connections, intimacy, the arts and music and comfort, and very much importantly, our values and money. Cannot forget Venus' psychological impulses of romantic love, attraction, and partnership. Where Venus is in your chart is this impulse to pleasure ourselves with the comforts that pleases us, whether that be a comfy bedroom with the perfect mattress and linens, comfy bedding and pillows, perfect to spend all day cuddling, or enjoying your favorite coffee spot because that coffee is the best and the atmosphere is perfect. It's cozy and inviting. Maybe it's art or music that pleases your senses. Beauty is definitely a Venus archetype. When we feel balance in ourselves, we want to love others, which is another Venus archetype. Partnerships. Venus is the ruler of Libra, who lives in the 7th house of relationships and partnerships. Where you have Venus in your chart can tell you a lot about who you are attracted to and what kind of partner you want. Because Venus governs the power of attraction and our sensuality. Not sexuality, that's Mars, but who you want to create love and stability with and who you value. That is Venus. Venus's energy is our friendships and what kind of friend you are. Venus also is the money and finance, how one earns money, including the 2nd house as well, since Taurus sits in the 2nd house, and the 2nd house reveals how we earn and spend our money. It also tells you who and what you value, whether that's money, family, career, or communication. Venus is our values. Venus in the 11th house, you could value your friendships and community groups. Venus in the 9th house, you value higher education or religion or your belief systems. Venus in the 3rd house, you can value communication or you can really value your siblings. Venus in the 2nd, you may value your possessions and money. So on and so on. Look at the house and the sign your Venus is in, and it will tell you a ton. So with all that, let's relate all of those attributes of Venus and let's connect them with Taurus. Taurus. That big stubborn bull. But you know what? I do love that big stubborn bull. I do. Taurus is a comfort spot for me. I have loved 3 Tauruses in my life. 1 sun, 1 moon, and 1 rising. I love Taurus because Taurus makes a trine to my ascendant in Libra, and Venus rules both Taurus and Libra. I am Venus ruled. My entire chart is Venus ruled. So that is one reason why I get along so well with Tauruses. And also, Taurus sextiles Cancer, and I'm a Cancer sun. With that said, Taurus loves me as well. They do. They really do. I love it. I can't take, I'll take every bit of the Taurus love I can get. Taurus and Cancers go very well together as they both are looking for security and stability. Cancer needs emotional, psychological, and physical stability to feel safe, and Taurus will provide that for them. For Tauruses, Cancer's nurturing, loving, meal cooking snuggles all day, and their protectiveness will make Taurus feel secure and stable. But there is an issue here, as Cancer is a cardinal sign and will eventually need things to change or adjust, and Taurus is fixed and hates change. It's like kryptonite for Taurus. But eventually, Cancer can't be stuck either. It's in cardinal, Think of Taurus as a season. The earth is waking up from the cold. The earth begins to warm. The blooming begins. The roots of the plants are becoming stable in the ground and waking up after a long winter. Taurus energy is solid. It's grounding, warm, like the warming of the soil after that long winter. Taurus is charming, sensual, and I think quite beautiful. Taurus, above all else, is about building security, creating solid ground of stability and safety. For Taurus, out of all the signs, is the most earthy and the most fixed and the slowest of the signs. But there's a reason for it. Okay, Taurians are all about the senses. It's earthy, and they are very connected to their bodies. To them, sensuality and sexuality are a little bit connected, as Taurus loves to express and feel all the senses with lovemaking, eating, even chilling, just kicking back. They will enjoy every second of not leaving the home for an entire day. No regrets, said a Taurus. They feel so much, maybe not emotionally. Well, yes, they can. But what I'm, trying to get at is Taurians can really, they feel things through the senses more. Okay. So Taurians can really taste every bite, smell every smell, touch the soft linens. They feel the senses to their core. We think of Scorpio, which is the opposite sign of Taurus, as the sexuality sign. And listen, I'll be honest, I don't really see this to be true. I find Taurus to be way more sexual, as Taurus processes everything through their senses. The sixth sense is a little tough for a Taurus, as that would take them out of their practical, realistic world. Although I do know many Taurians who are super spiritual, love astrology, tarot readers. I can just keep going on. But like I said in the Earth podcast, they usually had some kind of aha, or it made sense easily to them. The chart will always tell you more, because we are not locked in a Taurus box. We have other planets and signs making aspects. So this is a general description like everything else. The chart always tells the story. Since Taurians live in a world of security and stability, they are the happiest in their comfort zones, where their security is tangible and unchangeable. Taurians see life through a realistic viewpoint, unlike Aries, who sees life through an idealistic viewpoint. See, security above all else is what makes Taurians feel relaxed. Security we can trust, right? But life changes, and something that was once safe doesn't mean it's always safe, and it will always be safe, right? This is something Taurians really need to accept. Nothing stays the same. I said in the Earth podcast that nothing is stagnant, and Taurus really needs to embrace this concept. To me, it should make sense, since change happens, and that is reality, and Taurus is all about reality, right? It's crazy. But change is like a blind spot for a Taurian, because Taurians can stay in a reality that no longer exists. This is the shadow side of Taurus, and definitely holds them back. The unknown, well, it's the unknown. We can't change that, right? And with the unknown, how can we feel secure and trust what we don't know? Not knowing what change will bring will keep a Taurus locked in, whether it's good for them or not. Whether that be a marriage, a job they hate, they'll stick with it because I have someone to come home to, whether I love them or even like them. I have created comfort in this chaos, and now it's part of me. No bueno, Taurus. Or the job I hate, but it brings in a steady paycheck and helps pay the bills. But it's a steady income. What else is out there? Maybe not work, so I'll stay put because of the fear of the unknown overtakes them. No. Again, Taurus, no. The opportunities many Taurians lose out of the fear of change keeps them from really living. At least this is what I see in many Taurians. See, change is inevitable. Nothing is stagnant or forever. Change will happen. That is life, right? We can't unchange that. Okay? Every single day we wake up, it's a different day. That is change, right? Since change will happen to a Taurus, and their stubbornness to change becomes hard hit when change does happen and they cannot control the outcomes. This is when the Taurus goes into chaos, right? I have seen so many Taurians fight for an awful relationship out of fear of change, whether their partners treat them like shit or cheat on them. They will forgive just so they have you around, so their life doesn't change. I've seen it so much, it literally takes the other person to stay firm and leave the Taurian to accept defeat. And Tauruses do not like to accept defeat, because if they lose, their life changes. Taurians, just as anybody else, deserve to be in healthy relationships. They deserve to go to work and be happy where they work and not just settle. And that is the problem with Taurians. They settle due to the fear of change, and that's not good. I'll give an example. I have a friend who is a Taurus sun, and she fought for a relationship that should have never been fought for. I'm talking years, and the other partner was not budging and coming back. She held on with this tight grip, but her emotional state was in such danger. She was stressed, had horrible anxiety, totally full of fear of the future and the unknown. Eventually, she had to succumb to the change and accepted the divorce. but years later. I'm not kidding. Years. Luckily, today she has found an even better love, but damn did she hold on. She was holding on to an idea and a lifestyle she didn't want to give up instead of seeing the reality of how she was being treated by her ex. They will stick to an unhealthy relationship because they believe it's the practical thing to do. But let's think about this. Does practicality mean we need to be treated like shit in a relationship? No. Or be in a relationship void of love? No. To me, that's not practical or reliable. For my friend, she put herself through hell by holding on to something that had already left. Again, thankfully today, she has met a wonderful man and is super in love with someone who is right for her, and they are building that secure future she has always wanted. See, she was holding on to something that wasn't good for her, and had she held on for too long, she might have missed this opportunity with this other person. She's very, very happy now, but it took years for her, and I don't know how her hands are still able to grip anything because she was gripping hard onto a non-existing relationship. Okay, in the Earth podcast, I talked about how Earth energy needs tangible and concrete realities. Seeing life through realistic viewpoints allows Taurus to build realistic goals into reality. Taurus isn't flashy like the fire signs, so they can sit in the background slowly building their ambitions. See, Taurus is slow to move, but they do this to make sure that what they are investing in will be worth the value. There's the Venus again. And values. Anything too hasty will have them step back because nothing good comes out of something that happens too fast, right? Not to a Taurus. To them, that's not practical reality. Taurians in all aspects are steadfast and pretty dedicated. So as a friend, they can be pretty solid. They are warm and calm, and if you are very tight, they can be lifelong friends. They can be the friend who brings snacks or cooks for you, or if you need a shoulder, they might be the one to provide tissues. They are great listeners. As for parents, Taurians are pretty solid parents. They are dedicated to their families and especially to their children. I have yet to meet a horrible Taurian parent. I'm sure they're probably out there, but I have not encountered one so far, and I really hope I don't. We always have to talk about the positive and negative sides of any sign and planet, and today it's Taurus's turn. Sorry. The positive keywords for Taurus are patient, reliable, practical, grounded, sensual, persistent, determined, loyal, stable. They are materialistic and resilient and pretty conservative, especially in the way that they pursue their relationships. They're dependable, cautious, gentle, traditional, slow-paced, and they're pretty steadfast. All of these qualities are amazing, and we need earthy people to get shit done sometimes, right? We need people who are grounded and think practical. We need reliable people in our lives. But there is a shadow to a Taurus. It's not very much because Taurians are, really chill people kind of, and they don't ask for a lot, at least what I find. The shadow of Taurus energy, we will begin with the most obvious, their stubbornness, next to their possessiveness, and they can be also very quite materialistic. The stubbornness and the refusal to adapt or make changes causes friction in the relationships and their lives with other people. Their materialism, they can place too much value on money and status. This can sometimes come off in relationships or friendships as greedy or surface level. Once a Taurus has chosen you, they will hold on for dear life. They can also be very jealous and possessive. Their possessiveness turns into jealousy, and if they have an anxious attachment, can turn the relationship into a controlling, clingy, needy person. That's no good, Taurus. Once they are comfortable with someone, they will hold on for dear life, whether it's healthy or not. When the relationship is not good, they become extra clingy and jealous. But when the other half gives the Taurian a reason to fear losing them, their possessiveness and jealousy will be out of control. And people, I'm not just talking about being jealous of other people, but pets too, okay? They'll get jealous of a pet. If you're spending too much time and not enough time doting the Taurus, they will get jealous of her pet. That's for real, okay? This is so unhealthy. Other shadows of Taurus is overindulgence, and that can be connected to their materialism and their jealousy. Where this can also become very negative is food. Let me tell you, Taurians love to eat, cook, and taste food, try new foods. They love food. And too much is also not healthy because Taurians can fall into laziness like no other. They actually prefer laziness over working out. which is crazy because they're all about their body. I was a personal trainer, and this is general, as I did have many Taurus clients. However, they did hire me to tell them what to do. Again, not all Taurians are like this. People like to say Taurians are boring. I don't think this is necessarily true because of their, stubborn ass. They can budge on what you might want to do. They can be selfish like this. They may only want to do what they want to do. This has been my problem with all three of the Tauruses, sun, moon, and rising. I have love. I am left doing what they want to do while what I want to do goes unnoticed. That's not fair in relationships. And this is one thing that, it's more of the Librian side of Venus, but fairness is a big Venus archetype, whether that's Taurus or Libra. Libras are a little bit more, strict on being fair, but Taurus is ruled by Venus. So fairness is a big thing, And finally, the resistance to change. Like I said, I have loved and still love two Tauruses. One is my son, obviously, and the other is my son's stepfather. They both do not do well with change at all. The fact that my son is in Japan is huge for him. I mean, that's really, really big, and I'm so proud of him. He is a Taurus rising, and I'm just so proud that he did this. They can also be extremely stubborn, but I feel moon signs can be a tad bit less compared to the rising and the sun signs. I really do see the stubbornness really with the rising and the sun signs. The moon sign, depending on the other aspects, can be a little bit more open, but they're all three are still stubborn as shit. Okay, let's put it all together. Where Taurus is in your chart, apply this to the house Taurus is in. Obviously, the sun, moon, and rising are the strongest, but if you have a ton of planets in Taurus, then that energy is significant in your life. In relationships, Taurus is pretty trustworthy sign. They are usually reliable and dedicated. Taurus will be your rock. Or if you are a Taurus, you'll be dedicated to your lover and family. They will take care of you, hence why I love a Taurus. Listen, I admittedly love to be taken care of. And every Taurus in my life at one point has taken care of me. Hey, you know what? It is what it is. They will do this by creating a secure and stable home. They will cook you dinner. They will be the person to stay up and wait for you, or wake up early to cook you breakfast. More reasons why I love Taurians. They will help you with your projects and interests, school or work. This did happen to me for sure. I'm not sure I would have passed Spanish if I didn't have my Taurus friend. If you have a crush on a Taurus, better stick your feet in the mud because you will be waiting for a while, my friend. Taurus is not only slow moving, they're also slow building. And persistence, I don't even know if I put that in the keywords, but persistence is definitely a Taurus keyword. If they like you, they will be persistent in pursuing you. Trust. One thing you can take away here is if you're totally crushing on a Taurus, don't take their lack of pursuing that they don't like you. It's the way they pursue. Okay, they're persistent in pursuing you. So they'll come off first as a friend, and then they'll come off a little bit more, and then a little bit more, because what they're doing is they're checking to see if you're safe to be able to build that with. Okay. They pursue in a different way than, the fire signs who just go all in. Taurus is a slow burn. They are not flashy and quick like fire. So if a Taurus is cooking for you, if they're cleaning up after you, sending you flowers for no reasons, those are the actions to look for. In time, when they know it's safe with you, they will go in. And if you're lucky, they will devour you with love and devotion. Taurians, once they have made up their minds, it's very hard to change their minds, like I've said, because Taurians can believe their opinions and thoughts are real. Whether that is true or not is another question. This is a shadow side of Taurus kicking in because they so heartily believe that their thoughts is actual reality. This cognitive distortion can cause heartbreak. One thing Taurus can do is really listen to what the other is saying and take it for the truth, not what they think it true. That's what I find really difficult with Taurians, especially in relationships. I'm a very honest person. I'll tell you exactly how it is. That's how I am. But where I struggle with Taurians is they then say, well, no, you actually feel this way. No. Did I say that? No, I didn't. That's one thing Taurians really need to trust is listen to what the person's saying and maybe take it for the truth. Now, if you're a Taurus and you're in a relationship where you have someone who's not telling you the truth or lying to you, well, then get the hell out, right? Why are you there? Well, because they can't let go. But you don't want to be in a situation where you can't trust your partner in any sign, whether it's Taurus, Cancer, Pisces, all of them. Doesn't matter, right? Shouldn't be in it anyway. All right. See, another shadow side of Taurus is they have a hard time with communication. And Taurians can struggle because they're inclined to silence, and silence is golden, right? Silence is safe, right? When you think about it, you don't have to really worry about anything. They can also be reserved in their speech, and it can be hard for them to join conversations with others. You know, some Tauruses can kind of come off as snobbish, like they're too good for you because they don't want to join the group. But it's not that they don't want to join the group. It's that they don't know how to start the conversation to get into the group. Okay, so it's not really their fault, but they can come off that way. Okay, Taurus is also about simplicity, hence why they can be called boring. Simple is safe, right? Not always. This is a problem in speech for Taurus. The problem in speech for Taurus is they can think too hard on what to say. They then close down and it comes off as insensitive. That's a tough one and is why my relationships with Taurus have not worked out, even though we're so compatible. Now, Taurus will not fly in and out of relationships. Oh, no. Where's the stability in that? That's unknown. Nope, said every Taurus. But once they're in a relationship, and if it goes bad, they have too much responsibility and need for security and will stay in relationships that is far past its due dates. Tauruses can be slow to build relationships and security, but they can fly in and out of sexual relationships. Yes, they can. Bet you weren't expecting that, huh? We're going to go a little into the darkness of Taurus, okay? Since Taurus takes everything in through the body, so does their sensuality, and their sexuality will take priority. When reading Liz Green's book of Astrology for Lovers, I was shocked when I learned that the stable, stubborn, reliable, loyal bull has a tendency to step out. Yes, they do. Okay, so remember I said previously that Taurians will stay in an unhealthy relationship out of fear of what else is out there? I'm going to read from Liz Green's book called Astrology for Lovers and what she describes about an unfaithful bull. And I will link the book in the show notes. She's explaining a Taurus lover and she's talking in general, even though she uses the male pronouns, but this is for any gender. She states, if he chooses to be unfaithful, he will be unfaithful, but he'll happily pursue his sensual pleasures on the side, getting enormous satisfaction from the other, yet never allowing them to interfere with the stability of their marriage. Whoa, that was a lot. When I learned this, because I have only ever learned how reliable and faithful the Taurus bull is. A Taurus will have no problem cheating on their spouse if their sensual bodily needs are not being met. Remember, a Taurus survives through the senses and through their bodies, and sex is definitely a part of this. This I have actually experienced. The problem here is that the Taurian is only thinking about their own needs and not realizing that pulling people into their lives for selfish reasons hurts all sides. And let's not blame the side piece, because most likely they were lied to in order to get them in bed. And why I say selfish is because they are stepping out and bringing others into their mess. They're staying in a relationship where all of their needs are not being met, then going elsewhere to get their needs met. All the while, they will stay in the unhealthy relationship out of fear of duty and responsibility. Yes, that's a negative side of Taurus. Yep, I said in previous episodes, when a person is unfaithful and they bring in other people to fulfill their need, they are also taking the chance to not only hurt one person, their spouse, but the other who also believes they are creating something with this person. Remember earlier I said they struggle with communication? Taurus can be the type to not tell the whole truth so that way they can get what they want. If you love a Taurus, please get them to talk and open up. Also, if you love a Taurus and their sex life is awful, might want to dig into that. Maybe go to couples therapy and learn new ways to attract each other. Now, there are many Taurians who do not do this. This is the negative shadow of Taurus. There are many faithful Taurians, and I know many, and I have experienced both. My most secure relationship I've ever had was with my boys' stepfather, who is a Taurus moon. The most secure relationship I've ever been in, okay? And I know for a fact he never cheated on me. You know, unfortunately, I have been a victim of the lies and the deceit from a Taurus, so he could get what he wanted. In the end, I was the one who was lied to while he ate his cakes. Okay, let's go to the positive sides of Taurus. A stable Taurus can be so reliable, build structure for two of you to build upon. They will lavish you with material items like flowers, gifts, massages. They will remember your favorite song and play it for you in times of need. They will spoil you by making you food, cleaning up after you, creating stability and security so you know they are your rock. When I was in a relationship with the Taurus moon, he would notice when I had tough weeks and he would bring home flowers for me just cuz. Each week, maybe I just noticed it was just because you had a bad week, or this week it was tough with the kids, or this week it was tough at work. I mean, he just did it. So special. That's a stable Taurus, and that's how they show love. Venus shows our love languages, and for Tauruses, their love languages can be acts of service and gift giving. Remember, emotion doesn't come easily with Taurians. Leave that to the water signs. Taurians, they have a cautious, fixed nature about them. Since they struggle with emotion and communication, watch what they do for you. Another shadow side is their fear of losing you. They can become very clingy, like smothering clingy. This is just a fear because the relationship is already bad and they sense this. See, they might not even really have that much love for the person, but damn. Take away their house, their bed, life, money, and possessions, and they will hold on steady. This is not healthy. Remember I said there are 8 billion people in the world. Yes, that is a lot, but we need to remember this when we are in unhealthy relationships. Now, not every relationship people can get out of. I get that. There are abusive relationships. I understand that. But I'm talking if you do not have any of those issues, why stay in an unhealthy relationship? Many do because fear. There are others who will treat us better, but for that Taurus, they can't see this. That fear kicks in. Not good. You know, Taurus lives in the here and now. For them to think that far in the future of what could be, it's really difficult for Taurus. And this isn't good. Yeah. But in general, most Taurians are stable, reliable partners. They are some of the best people to have in your life. They are calm when the world is in this chaotic mess. They usually have soft voices and, they speak calmly and they just have this nature about them that is comforting. Yeah, that's the word I want to use for a good Taurus is comforting. I have many Tauruses in my life. Like I said, I love being around Tauruses. They are just calm. And when you have like a lot of fire and a lot of water in your chart like I do, it's comforting for me. Now, where this could be a struggle for people are the air signs, where the air signs are all about communication. And Tauruses can struggle with that communication. If you are an air sign and you're in love with a Taurus, really working with them to open up will be your job to make them feel secure to open up, okay? Because Tauruses will close down if they don't feel safe. Things to remember with a Taurus. They are slow, but they're slow because they're building. They are grounded because they are earthly bound, but they are wonderful, loving people. And I am so grateful that the universe gave us Taurians. Wow, another long one. I hope I got all the points I wanted to get in this episode. It actually took me longer to create this as I really do love my Tauruses. I really do. Okay, that was it for a Taurus. That did take me a while because I had some emotions that were going on with me that I had to really think about what I was going to say. And writing this up, I was deleting and adding and deleting and adding. And I was like, so much Taurus. Why do you guys have to be so complicated and so simple at the same time? That's why we love them, right? Okay. I know I've said this before. Please like and share the show. Downloads are really important. That's how this little show grows. I have noticed it's hitting all over the world, and this is absolutely amazing. I've hit every continent, and I am just so excited to express this love of astrology. Real quickly, when I first learned astrology, the very first thing I said out loud was, why doesn't everybody know this? Immediately, I wanted to teach as many people as I could the beauty of astrology. I believe that the more we get to know our personalities through astrology can help us with so much anxiety and depression and all that, because we're kind of like walking around without our maps, right? Having that map, we kind of know where to go. That's astrology. I really love that. So please like and share the show. And also, I've said this before, I am the president of San Diego Astrological Society, and we do have an event every single month on the second Friday. However, we will not have a Zoom meeting this week because we are having our annual bazaar, which is our fundraiser, as San Diego Astrological Society is a nonprofit. We will be having a fundraiser this Friday. We will be having our event on the 14th of August. This is an in-person event. Tickets will be sold for $15 for 10 minutes, and they will be 2 tickets per person. We will be having astrologers, tarot readers, oracle guidance. We will be having, for astrology, I know there'll be sun, moon, rising. I'm personally going to be doing past life readings. We will be having transit readings, eclipse readings. I mean, so much more. Please come if you're in the San Diego area. You can log on to sandiegoastrology.com and we will have all the information there. You can also find all the information on my Instagram, 7th House Astrology. And that's it. I hope you have a wonderful week. And next we will be talking about Virgos. Oh, Virgos. All right. Have a good week, everyone. Talk soon.